Are you on the verge of burnout and exhaustion from your career? Maybe you love what you do, but are lacking peer support and professional connections. Then you need to come to the 2-day Social Connections Virtual Summit happening September 25th and September 26th. This 2-day social wellness and relationship building summit is unlike any other you've ever seen. When you join the Social Connection Summit, your professional relationships are going to transform. You will be inspired by our dynamic speakers who will be sharing actionable steps to help you set boundaries to prevent burnout, schedule your time effectively, restore your emotional and physical health, and so much more. You will have ample opportunities to connect with your peers, develop new relationships, and even forge friendships with our curated networking sessions. And there's more. For those of you who want extra support and personalized guidance towards reaching your goals, you may book a complimentary one-on-one coaching session with a world-class coach of your choice. Don't miss the Social Connections Virtual Summit September 25th and September 26th. Get your tickets at patternsofpossibility.com/events. Early bird ticket sales end soon, so get yours today. Go to patternsofpossibility.com/events. That's patternsofpossibility.com/events. Hey, what's going on? My name is Coach Lee Hopkins. My pronouns are he, him, his, and you're listening to the Patterns of Possibility podcast. This is a podcast dedicated to helping you replace harmful patterns with new possibilities. In each episode, we'll explore topics that inspire you to be yourself, live your truth, and make lasting connections. In this episode, we're going to take an honest look at your relationships. Look around at the people that you've known the longest. Look around at your friends, your family, your coworkers. Are they holding you back, or are they helping you up? In theory, we really want to be close to those people who are helping us up. But in practice, we have a hard time letting go of those people who might be holding us back. Let's explore what to do when you find one of those people holding you back, and if necessary, how to make a clean break without feeling guilty. Are you ready? Let's go. So you've noticed that your life has been improving. You stop feeling sorry for yourself. You stop blaming other people for your misfortunes. You stop complaining about what's going wrong, and you start taking action to change the circumstances around you. Go you. You're moving on up, graduating to the next level, discovering something new out of life. But when you talk to your friends, your family, your coworkers, you talk about them about your new outlook on life, and they just don't get it. They're focused on your past problems, and you've already worked through that. You worked really hard to resolve these issues, to move to this new life, and they just can't understand you. They remind you about the difficult things that have happened in the past, and that's all they can talk about. You're disappointed, as you would be. You want their support about these new experiences that you're going to have, these new endeavors, and they're not able to give it to you. Instead, they remind you of how bad things were and how difficult life is. Constant reminders of who you were and how you will never change. That sucks. You feel isolated, but you don't want to let go. You feel misunderstood, but you don't want to let go. Who here has been in that situation? You're new. You're different. You want something different from your life, and the people who you knew before 5, 10, 15, 20 years, people that you've known for your entire life, cannot envision the new future that you have. And what a painful experience that is for you. You all just want the same thing, though. You want things to stay the same. At least when I was in this position, and when I continue to grow, I face this position, and we're always going to continue to face this position if we continue to grow and change. We continue to learn more about ourselves. We continue to have new experiences and try new things. We're going to leave some people behind. Some people who aren't interested or capable of doing the new things that we want in our lives. So they'll look at us and they'll say, hey, don't fly away. Don't go anywhere. Stay here with me. I'm going to hold on to you. I'm going to make sure that you and I have the relationship that I want. That's what they'll say to you. Remember the past. Remember the good times? Remember how things are difficult and we were there for each other? Don't leave me. And then you, on the other hand, or me, whoever shows up in this relationship, however you show up in this dynamic, you are like, I don't want to leave you either. I'm flying away. Grab my claw and I will fly with you. I'll take you to new heights. But as you ascend, you'll see that they're afraid and they're like kind of pulling to get you down. And you're holding on and trying to flap harder to go where you're going and take them with you because you're so used to that relationship and that connection that you had. We really want to recognize that dynamic. It's painful to let go of the things that we are used to. It's soothing to have someone move to the next level with us. Someone that we know, someone that we can trust, someone that supports us. And we look around at the people that have been around in our lives for many, many years, and we want them to come with us because they're safe, they're familiar, right? We believe that they're going to help us in this next venture in our life. But listen, sometimes people can't do it. Sometimes they can't do it. And as badly as both of you want to be connected, as badly as both of you want to support each other in the difficult times, remind each other about how much you mean to each other, when you are moving up, everybody can't come with you. So I want to give you 3 things to do to recognize, to move through this, to do your best, to let go when you know it's time. Like when to know it's time to let go. So the first thing you're going to do is realize that you've changed. Okay, you've transformed. I imagine that both of you are, I don't know, squirrels, squirrels out there in the forest. And one day you magically turn into an eagle. You've got wings and you can fly. You have a whole new set of abilities that the squirrel doesn't have. But you remember all the times that you were a squirrel and all the things you did, collecting nuts, running around the forest, whatever it is that you do. And you transformed, barely recognizable by your friend, with new abilities to fly to new heights. And because you're so attached to the relationship that you had, you want to take your friend with you. But they don't have the ability to fly. They have all their fears and concerns. What if you go to new heights and you drop them? They don't know how to fend for themselves in that space. They don't know what it's going to be like. It's you who transformed. And so using that analogy, just want to recognize that things for you are different and you look different to your friend. Your outlook is different. You and your friend have diverged paths. And it really would get clearer every time you speak because they go cheep cheep and you'll go caw caw. Right? It's different. So recognize that happened. Accept that change. Once you have accepted the change, you are different and they are different, a lot different from you. It is not the time to release the relationship. You don't have to let go of it. You don't have to. The next step is to ask yourself what you want your relationship to look like and then set a timeline for the transformation of that relationship. Imagine it this way. Right now, they're stunned. They're surprised. You can fly? You're speaking a whole different language. You're doing things that are completely different than what we've ever done before. But it doesn't mean that you have to go away. It doesn't mean that. You can still connect, but on different levels, on something different. So what you want to do is talk about how to maintain the relationship, knowing the limitations of what they can do. Talk about that with them, knowing the new obligations or the new goals, the new dreams that you have. You want to talk about it with them. Now, I just mentioned how they don't understand you. You're speaking different languages, but you do have a common history. You do have a common history. You can unite on some of those things that you've had together in the past. You can still talk about some of the habits that you might have or the hobbies that you have going forward, because that whole thing may not change. All of your habits may not change. All of your hobbies may not change. You can still find time to hang out with them and watch football together. You can still find time to go on walks together. You can still find time to do things with them to maintain your relationships. But you know that it's not going to be as close, again, because you've changed. What you want to do is set a timeline for the expectation that you will adjust. Both of you will have adjusted. Now you can fly, you can do all kinds of amazing things that they can't do, but they still have their values, they still have their uniqueness to them that you care about. And acknowledging that about each other and putting a time limit on it is very important. When I say put a time limit on it, I mean a time for them to adjust to the new person that you are. It might be difficult for them to accept it right away. They might still want to talk about things in the past. But I want to encourage you to give them some grace and talk about a bit of those things, as long as they're not painful and disruptive for you, but also share some of the new things that you're experiencing as well. You want to give it time, like, oh, they're interested. You want to give it time so that they can demonstrate that they're interested in you. You go around flying and seeing new scenery that they've never seen before, and you come back to describe it to them. Hey, this is what I experienced. And they're like, I can never, nothing. I just, at first they might feel that way, but if you give it some time, they'll adjust. They can adjust, and they can start being happy for you and excited for the new adventures that you're on. But it's very important for you to give them time, a time limit. Specifically, a time limit to adjust, because you can't go back 3, 4, 10 years and continue to try and tell them about the amazing things that you're doing, and they're like, I can't believe it, I don't know why you would ever want to leave and all this. That's a person that's going to be holding you back. That's a person that's going to help you feel awful about the success that you've achieved, and you don't want too much of that in your life. So give it some time. I'd say 6 months is a good place to start. Now, this is the one, step 3. This is just the third one. If they fail to understand you, I want you to consider changing the dynamic of your relationship. Because as painful as it is, it's time. It's time to face your fears about living your life without them. Of all the memories, all the fun times that you've had, they still exist. They still exist. But there's so much more for you out there. And if you're holding on to this person, they're going to keep you down. They can't help you navigating your new path. They can't understand it. They can't see it. If you know that you can be so much more, release them. Create some space between you and them. Let them go. Because if you think about it this way, all they're doing is suffering because they don't have the you that they want. And all you're doing is suffering because you can't go to the new places without feeling guilt, shame, embarrassment. Hey, Patterns of Possibility fam. If you'd like a little more guidance and hands-on support, then I've got great news. You can hire me as your own personal coach. Go to patternsofpossibility.com/coaching to apply for individual or group coaching. In this 12-week program, I'm going to help you make the meaningful connections that you deserve. After this coaching program, I promise you'll be able to do 3 things. 1, you'll be able to clearly identify who belongs in your tribe and who doesn't. Say goodbye to those people who are wishy-washy, you're unsure of. No, you will know for certain whether or not they deserve to be in the same space with you. And second, you are going to know that your thoughts and feelings are valid and worth expressing. So if you do have feelings about your friends not holding up boundaries or not holding up space for you or not meeting your needs, then you are not going to shy away from telling them. You will be able to communicate your boundaries in a clear, concise manner and advocate for yourself in your relationships. And finally, you are going to learn how to start and stop conversations with strangers and steer them towards topics that are interesting and important to you. I don't know about you, but I don't have weeks, months, years to discover whether or not me and my new friend have compatible values. If you know what you're looking for, you can discover if you're compatible in just a few conversations. If all this sounds good to you and you're ready to make those meaningful connections, go to patternsofpossibility.com/coaching to find out more information. Again, go to patternsofpossibility.com/coaching to find out more information. I look forward to working with you. Now it's time for your listener letters. If you have burning questions about your friendships and your platonic relationships with your coworkers and so forth, let me know. Write me at patternsofpossibility@gmail.com, and I might just read your letter out loud. I'm my friend's biggest hater. Now hear me out, because I know it sounds bad. My friend is 25 years old and I am 28 years old, and we've been friends for a couple years now, and we hit it off super strong at first. We were always out partying and we used to be coworkers. My friend is beautiful, smart, funny, caring. However, she's very codependent. And in a relationship, that means I'm often put on the back burner when she has a boyfriend. I've been single for 5 years, while my friend has had numerous boyfriends that all ended up cheating on her or ghosting her, but I'm never really surprised because these men are walking red flags. I'm at a point in my life where I want to meet someone and have children, but I must have broken a mirror because it doesn't seem to happen. I date, but I'd rather wait and find someone great than settle for less. My friend, on the other hand, met someone a couple months ago, and every time she does meet someone, I always find myself asking the universe, why not me? I'm happy for her, and this guy seems great for her, and I don't want to be envious, but I can't help it. I really want her to meet someone that treats her like a queen, but I can't be 100% happy when I've been single for so long. What do I do? How do I change these negative feelings? Well, great question. Glad that you said it's your hater. Hater. It can't help but being envious. And of course, I'm glad that you just put it out there like that. To own those feelings about your experience with them, because they're real. They're honest. They're raw. You see someone getting something that you want, and it's hard not to be envious. But the thing is that, well, you're not them and you're not living their experience, and you can't have what they have because you are not them. You can have something that's meant for you, but you can't have what they have. And so when it comes to hating on her, it doesn't really serve you to hate on her. It doesn't. And I think you know that. That's why you wrote this. But I want to think about this as connection and losing a friend and pulling away and things changing, because it's in the same vein of what we were talking about. Is life is changing for somebody and you can no longer relate to it. So if she finds this person that is really great for her and you are not finding the person that's great for you, and you look at that and she's transformed into this bird who is just flying away, soaring away. Their whole life is different. The experiences, no longer complaining about how you're single. A whole nother level has opened up for your friend. A whole nother level has opened up for your friend, and you have no idea what the experience is like except looking from the outside in, and you want that own experience for yourself. So if you're looking at that, you think about it this way: it doesn't serve you to want to be able to stop her from flying. It serves you best to figure out how you can fly, what you're looking for in your relationships. Who are you dating? How are you dating? Do you have a list of things that you're looking for in potential partners? Are you being intentional about asking them questions that matter to you? That'll get you to a level in which you can be 100% happy. And I wonder also, if she doesn't get this person that makes her 100% happy, will you still be happy if you find that great person for you? It's a good question to ask yourself, or a good question to consider. Is it that you want them to suffer like you are? If that is true, if all you want is for them to understand how you feel about your experience and continue to be in that experience with you with not finding the right person, then that's normal. It's normal. We want people to understand us. And if they change too much, they do things that are different, they won't understand us anymore and we'll be alone. The best thing that you can do is to recognize that you might want them to be alone or unhappy, and shift that focus from what they're feeling to what you're feeling. And your feelings need not be dictated by their joy, by their sadness, by their fears, by their anger. It's all focused on you. Focus on those things that are going to make you happy, or those people are going to make you happy. Finding someone to care about you deeply will make you happy. It must be independent of what your friend is doing, because you can't live their life. And see, this is what I mean about people transforming and becoming somebody different, somebody new, and being unrelatable. Because what if you did? What if you transformed and you met somebody who made you so happy? You were so happy with them, and you looked at your friend who was absolutely miserable because they keep finding the wrong people. The one that they picked that they look like they're good with, it falls apart. And they're back to the drawing board of being single. Will that bring you joy? Will you be sad? Will you be happy for your relationship? Because maybe you finally got something that they don't have? These are all questions to just kind of consider about your dynamic. What do you really want from them? How do you really see your friend? My friends and the people that I want close to me are those who genuinely wish me well, because they know that I'm wishing them well. And when they see me be happy, they're not distressed about it. Listeners, what do you think? Would you hate on your friend? Have you had friends hate on you this way? What happened? Let me know. I'd love to hear from you. Hey, thank you so much for listening. If you like this podcast, share with someone who you think could benefit from this information, and follow me on social media. You can find me at Patterns of Possibility on all social media. And I go live on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. You can catch me and learn more about these social connections and interact with other people who are looking for the meaningful connections, who share the same kind of stories, and be in community. And don't forget to sign up for my newsletter at patternsofpossibility.com, where you will get actionable steps delivered to your mailbox every week. Thanks again for listening. Until next time, take care.